back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast for three fine gentlemen, three bambinos coming together to talk about nerd shit. That's right. We're back for another week of discussion. This week, we're going to talk about the DC Chapter 1 introduced by James Gunn. Then we're going to roll into talking about the great movies of 2023. We're going to give ourselves a little mini ranking. We're going to rank our top 5 movies of 2023. Then we're going to roll into a feature discussion of the new Peacock TV show from Rian Johnson, Poker Face. And then we're going to wrap it all up with what we're into. Kind of a basic show, but you know, that's what you're here for. It's me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me is...
And Deadpool.
That's it. That's the podcast. Let's dive right into it. Okay.
Good night.
No, okay. Everyone's the internet's buzzing. You know, people are chatting, and we got to talk about it here. Obviously, James Gunn and Peter Safran have announced Chapter 1 of the DCU. No longer the DCEU. They've just owned up to the DCU, imitating the MCU. It's not phases; they're chapters. Chapter 1: Gods and Monsters. Let's go over them, guys. Well, what do you think? So, Shazam! Fury of the Gods comes out March 17th. This is typical, not part of the new thing. The Flash comes out June 23rd. Old news. Blue Beetle, August 18th. Old news. Aquaman, Lost Kingdom, December 25th. Old news. But oh wait, we have new updates. James Gunn spoke to us directly, straight to cam, telling us these things. It's going to be a bit of animated and movies. And the first one here is going to be a show called Creature Commandos. It's an animated show written by James Gunn. And, I mean, thoughts? Nothing really there, right?
Yeah. I don't know who these characters are. He seemed really excited about them.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this is a great way to start because it's like, obviously James Gunn brought Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what I mean, to everyone. And now we all know who that is. And he's kind of like, to me, the guy to bring in like just super out there characters that are not, you know, the typical top 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So while I don't know the show, I'm looking forward to learning about it.
Same.
Like and subscribe.
Amazing. Like, subscribe, hit us up.
I mean, we'll get into it more. But yeah.
No,
I'm ready to talk about the bigger picture.
I know you are. You know, but
he
this
did
is a big thing.
He did say something when he was talking about this one that I was kind of into, was that he just mentioned, starting off with the animation, how there's going to be the actors who are doing the voice acting for the character are more likely than not also going to be the ones like transitioning onto the big screen playing them, and how these characters can jump back and forth. And I thought that was an interesting way to kind of start off things. It's like, okay, there's some freedom and flexibility.
It sounded like an automatic criticism, too, to be honest, because Marvel has not been doing that, I guess.
They did a little bit of that for What If. Not
a
all
little
of them.
bit, but it was like a mixture, right? It was like and I'm not like saying like, you hurt Marvel's feelings. But,
no, you said that.
No, I just, it's a curious video, and I'm ready to talk about the bigger picture, but let's get through them first.
All right, let's get through this. James Gunn is going to have the Weasel. Okay. Looks like it has the Weasel, which is actually portrayed by Sean Gunn. James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, was also Rocket. He played Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy, the motion capture of Rocket. And also, he was in Gilmore Girls. Perfect. Moving on. Waller, it's a TV show. This is about Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. She's going to be teaming up with the characters of Peacemaker. One thing I wanted to point out here is that it's going to be written and showrun by the guys who did Doom Patrol and the Watchmen TV series. I loved the first season of Doom Patrol, and if it's going to bring in that weirdness into it, as well as marrying that with really impactful symbols and themes and all of those things, I'm here for it. They get weird, but they get emotional. And I feel like that's the James Gunn vibe, and that's what he's kind of imbuing into this world of his, bringing in weird, unknown creatures, and then imbuing a little bit of heart to it. So I'm excited for this Waller TV show.
Yeah, that was like one of the first ones where my ears perked up, because I thought that was going to be an interesting one. I mean, when he said the Watchmen, too, because that was such a good show. But I feel like people don't talk about as much since it aired.
Since it passed, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a solid show. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of tone they take with it.
I highly recommend season 1 of Doom Patrol for you guys. I remember I talked it up years ago, and you were like, "I don't watch TV," but you should watch this show. I remember that.
So how that happened? Yeah.
What else? Oh, it's gonna be interesting too because we've seen Amanda Waller like just sewn into the Snyderverse. So to see her still prevalent in this thing she's like the one lasting impression.
You don't just shoo away Viola Davis.
No,
for sure.
Yeah, like she was intense in the redo of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to be, but she brought her A game. Yeah, it's just like, all right, Viola, take it all. You know, I'm here for it. That'll be great.
Okay, now really kicking it off for Gods and Monsters. Oh boy, Superman Legacy coming out July 11th, 2025. This will be written by James Gunn. And fun fact: before he did Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad, he was petitioned by DC to write Superman. They were like, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to do Superman? Please write Superman." And he's like, "No, I don't want to do Superman. That's way too much pressure. I want to do these ragtag, nobody really cares team, the Suicide Squad." So it's interesting now that he's running the DCU that he has returned to writing for Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed, you want to talk about this one?
Any thoughts?
Let's go.
He's got the power now. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well,
I'll take a writing credit here. I'll take a writing credit there. Hey, give my brother a job. Here we go. I mean, you guys know I've been an advocate for, at the very least, just being able to see Henry Cavill get like a redemptive performance as Superman, and obviously we're not going to see that. And I mean, and you have to start a DC universe with Superman, so it'll just be interesting. I'll be very curious to see what direction they take it in. It was 10 years ago that Man of Steel came out. When did Man of Steel come out? That was 11, 12?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
when did Man of Steel come out?
Man of Steel.
Did you hear that?
Okay. Yeah, it was 2013.
2013, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, so yeah, nearly it will have been over 10 years ago by the time we see it. So, yeah, it will just be interesting. I'm very curious to see where he takes it. Is it going to be tongue-in-cheek like his other stuff? Is it going to be very serious? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the comics, so
you're not familiar with Superman?
I'm familiar with Superman, but
Kal-El,
that specific one that he's basing the story off of,
right?
I'm just curious.
I think we know it's not going to be an origin story, so we're not going to dive into that again. And I think here he's going to bring back that good old hearted Superman that we've kind of walked away from. You know, we went to this dark DC universe and we kind of gave Superman some darker tones, and this is a return to hope, which is what Superman symbolizes. So I think this was going to be, you know, some of those hopeful Groody vibes. You know what I mean? Coming after that is Lanterns. It's a TV series. This was interesting. It's going to be on HBO, and it's a mystery, and they said it's inspired by True Detective.
Yeah,
so what a perfect way to bring in this lore of Green Lanterns and not get buried under explaining it, and just jump right into, you know, solving a mystery. You know,
we're space cops.
Yeah, these are some space cops,
dude. I'm not super into like Green Lantern and all of that. I don't really know much. Not that I dislike him, I just don't know. And the moment they said it was kind of like True Detective, I was like, okay, fucking True Detective is one of my favorite shows. Like, yeah, if it's going to be like that, let me get into it that way. I'm into it.
There's a good comparison that they made. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in then, if we're going to go that route.
They used a lot of HBO references. That's for fucking sure.
Oh, dude, it was like when fucking Space Jam came out and they were using all the Warner Brothers properties. You know what I mean? That's how I felt like with James Gunn throughout this entire thing. He was like, I'm definitely going to talk about all the. He mentions Westeros and Game of Thrones at one point.
Yeah.
We're coming up to that.
We were like, damn. Okay,
yeah,
he's got access.
We have the Lantern, Superman, but Superman Legacy, that's a TV series, but Superman Legacy, the movie, is going to roll right into The Authority. I've actually been doing a little bit of research on The Authority. So yeah, there's just a bunch, they're kind of a mix of the boys and Suicide Squad, and they're just a ragtag team that's just kind of like, we're going to bring justice, but we're going to do it our way, and we don't give a fuck. And so they're a little bit darker than Superman. And then Superman's going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, you guys shouldn't be like that. So I think it's going to be a comparison between Superman's good-natured, hopeful side versus, you know, optimism versus the other side of the Authority, which is kind of darker and broodier. That old DC vibe of like, yeah, everything is real and gritty and dark. And Superman's like, no, no, no. We need to have hope. We need to be good people. So they're going to see a contrast between those two. And there was a comic called Superman and the Authority where he kind of brings back the Authority into a good light. So it's going to be interesting because we're so used to seeing the DC as the dark comparison to Marvel. This might be some sort of, I don't know, discussion point about that, if that makes sense. I'm having a very slow day today, so please forgive me for all my ums and lack of like thoughts here. It's been a long, long day, but I just wanted. Okay, great. We're moving on. Paradise Lost. This is the Wonder Woman show without Wonder Woman, basically compared to Game of Thrones before Wonder Woman was born. Thoughts?
Yeah. Intriguing. At the very least, like they said, Game of Thrones with Amazons. So that could be cool. I like the kind of mythology aspect of Themyscira and stuff. So that could be fun, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of cast it pulls in too. That one was a series, yeah. So yeah, that could be fun, you know. Yep.
Okay. All right, let's just get into it.
Thank you, Miguel.
This is what we're here for, okay? We wanted to talk about this one.
All right, moving on. Booster Gold, the TV series. No, Brave and the Bold. Come on, give me your thoughts. I know you weren't Bat Family people, but we're going to have the Bat Family now.
Yeah, you know, if it's like we're finally going to do it, just do it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know, maybe it's going to be great. I don't really have like a whole big love for it. I just, you know, I always just kind of was like Batman and then maybe Robin, you know what I mean? Was like really all I needed. But I think it's interesting that we're starting with Damian Wayne, Bruce Wayne's son, as Robin. It's like, okay, we're really like jumping way ahead in the like Batverse or whatever. Yeah. So I think it's an interesting starting point. You were mentioning how like we're not going to see Superman's origin story, and I feel like maybe this is like the era of doing that, where we don't have to see origin stories for every character. We know Batman, we know Superman. You know, like let's get into like the more fun ones.
Yes. You know, you got to roll your eyes every time they say, like, oh, this is going to be a new Bruce Wayne that you've never seen before on screen. Yeah. But I think, you know, if you are going to literally have two Batmans coinciding from the same studio, you might as well try and mix it up a bit by throwing a Robin in there. I don't foresee Robert Pattinson's Batman getting a Robin anytime soon.
Well, not anymore.
Well, I mean, maybe. You don't know what Matt Reeves is cooking.
He was like, I'm doing Robin anyway.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. So, yeah, I mean, I think that at the very least will be a refreshing take. And then it would be cool to see other characters, like, you know, when you think of the Bat family, like Barbara Gordon, right? Mm-hmm. And Alfred.
Alfred is in all of them. Batgirl, Nightwing.
Nightwing, thank you. I was trying to think of some other. Red Hood too. I mean,
3 Robins.
A live rendition of the Red Hood could be interesting.
Right.
I guess we'll see where it goes. I mean,
I was surprised. I texted Luis earlier, and I'd never heard of the Brave and the Bold, so I had to look it up. And it was like Batman teams up with like other members of Gotham, and I was like, oh, Bat Family, so it's just going to be like Robin's, Batgirl, whatever. And it was like Robin, Batgirl, and then Blue Beetle was on that list all of a sudden. And I was like, I texted Luis and I was like, oh, okay, I guess Blue Beetle's not getting cut. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're really sticking with him. I'd never heard of him before in my life. And here he is fighting alongside Batman. So let's go.
I mean, I don't know if you know the story of, what's his name? The new little Damian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damian Wayne.
Obviously this is going to be a Batman who's been doing his time because, he hooked up with what's Talia. So we're gonna find out.
They both did?
Who's both?
No, wait. Sorry, you said Damien hooked up with Talia?
No.
Oh.
Damien is their son.
Damien's their son.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was one thing I was going to ask you guys. Was like, who do you think's the mum?
No,
but
that's why he's like a badass assassin, because he's born in the League of Shadows, right?
Oh, well,
that's
cool.
That's why he's able to like kick ass as a little kid. It's not like
and
how
he's
is this kid
obnoxious.
supposed to kick ass? He's been trained as an assassin. So,
Ed, have you never heard of Damian Wayne before? This is the first time you're hearing about him.
No.
Thank you, Ed.
No, I guess there are so many goddamn fucking Robins.
That's true. You're not wrong about that.
Okay,
There's too many of them.
There are a lot. Okay, it's like at some point, Batman.
That's why I like
you're
the
just
Lone Ranger
endangering
Batman.
Children. You are abusing them.
You're pulling them into these situations, and then you get upset every time they die. It's weird, but it's okay. Well, cool. That's a cool thing. Marion Cotillard confirmed for the DCU.
There we go. Bring her back. I think as Damien's supposed to be pretty deadly. It might be a flip of roles where Robin might be a little more darker than Batman, and Batman has to rein him in. Who knows? But it's crazy that we're having 2 Batmans. Like, we thought, is it possible? Because we knew we were going to get Pattinson into this new DCU. So are we just going to be in a world without Batman? And then they did it. They were like, we don't give a fuck. We're bringing a Batman into this world because we need Superman and Batman in the DC universe.
Yeah.
No matter what,
exactly.
they bring in these weird characters, which is cool and great. But at the same time, he recognizes you got to bring Superman and Batman. If you don't, then it's not the DC.
You're going to lose. I was talking to the guys at work. I was listing all of these projects off. Then when I got to Batman, they were just like, "Oh, okay."
Hell yeah!
Cool. Like, people don't give a fuck. They'll go see a Batman movie.
Hell yeah, dude!
So
I read this comment on Reddit the other day that was like they had just announced, okay, the next Batman Part 2 is going to come out in 2025 or whatever. And this one commenter was like, "Okay, now I just have to wait a couple more years till this new Batman movie." Not die for a couple more years until this Batman movie comes out. And someone followed up and was like, you are always only a few years away from a new Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, there will always be more. So don't worry.
And 2, close to, well, I guess it's in development, but I mean, fuck, we're not going to get Batman 2 until 2025.
Thoughts on Batfleck? Did we like him or no?
Are we gonna do the whole thing? Let's do it, okay?
I just wanted to ask about Batfleck. I had this conversation with someone, and then it was just like, because I think you like him, right, Miguel?
Oh yeah, I liked elements. There were things that I thought were dropped. Obviously, like I actually really liked Batman versus Superman, especially his Batman in that one. I think that was his like most perfect interpretation of the character, just because he was like the most excited for it in the moment, you know.
Sorry.
What was that?
Reels during this podcast?
No. Sorry. Sarah just texted me something, and it was one of those live pictures.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, it sounded like fucking Jigsaw just rode his little tricycle into the room.
I do apologize.
That was terrifying.
Last time I checked my fucking phone when She's out of town, so I was just like, oh, okay, what's up? She knows
But
I'm
she still
recording.
made the pod. You know what I mean? Shout out.
There you go.
She's a supporter.
Thank you,
#1.
Sarah. Yeah, sorry, carry on, guys.
I liked Batfleck. I did think we were in this weird time where it was like we were going to see Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, all as Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now the idea that we're going to get another person as Batman here in a second is
It went
like
from being
woof,
very scarce to having Batman to now we having a lot of Batman.
a lot.
The Batman.
Do you think Robert Pattinson, like when he snuck off the set of Tenet that one day to go audition for the movie, he was like, "Oh, I'm fucking gonna be Batman." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there was an interview where
dude,
he
Christian
was like,
Bale just fucking nailed that shit.
yeah, there was
You know
an
what I
interview
mean?
where
I'm
he's
about
like,
to be it.
I feel it in my bones that I need to be Batman. And then they were like, yeah, you're Batman for sure. It was just like the universe came. It was one of those moments when the universe was like, this needed to happen. He felt it. The director felt it. Everyone was like, yeah, this works. And it's just one of those cool Hollywood moments. But I don't know who's going to be the next Batman. It's going to be very
A new
interesting.
Batman.
But we're gonna be all like pissed off when it happens. We're gonna be like, oh, I don't think he could really be Batman. You know, we're all gonna be upset. Remember when we found out
Matt
about
Damon.
Ooh, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, you would. Shut up. Come on.
If only for out of curiosity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you would know.
He's got a Boston accent for some reason.
I like Batfleck. Fine. I just obviously that whole series of movies was marred by how terribly produced and written they were.
Talk that talk, Ed.
Well, it's just it's like you really have to nitpick to think of something memorable. Like, yeah, was he was he a serviceable Batman? Like, did he look good in the outfit? Yeah, absolutely. He had a great physique. Like that training montage before he fights Superman. I mean, he looked like a beast, and I appreciated that. And then it was ruined by the fight itself. So it was.
How do you know that name?
Yeah, no, I honestly think the crazy things that you could point to in that movie to be like, God, that was really bad. Really, in retrospect, were one of the more shining moments of that whole run of DC. You know what I mean? It was like it only got worse from there.
Yeah.
So I look back and be like, oh, did he know? Martha, whatever. Who gives a fuck? This is so much better than what it is. Thank you. Pop, 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 pop.
You know, I was also curious.
I speak for the regular people. You know what I mean?
I'll move on from Batman, but I was always curious about what are you going to name the next Batman movie? You know,
we're running out.
We've already had Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, which is a great movie title. And then
we haven't had the
Batman.
Cape Crusader yet.
Oh shit!
All right, well there we go.
And it'll be like a noir, like a 50s noir.
Well, there's
movie,
an animated series running. It might still be running of The Brave and the Bold. I don't think it was like an adaptation like this one is supposed to be. That was just the title, Batman: The Brave and the Bold. It was the Batman with the big chin.
Yeah.
But it's Batman: The Brave and the Bold. There you go.
All right.
I do want to say real quick. He called this chapter "Gods and Monsters."
Yeah.
It's funny because you guys recall I was reading those comic books, those graphic novel series called. It was like not the Avengers. It was like the Avengers.
The Ultimates?
But it was like the Ultimates, thank you.
Yeah.
And the subtitle was Gods and Monsters.
Oh.
Got it.
I was like, yeah, James Gunn's gonna get a lawsuit. No, but anyway, sorry, I just thought of that. Anyway.
You know what I just thought of? If there was any time for this to happen, Marvel versus DC.
Oh,
you have two people in charge, and they like each other. You know what I mean? Right when they're like, "Hey man, blockbuster sales are down. Let's do a one spin-off." Like,
dude,
I'm talking 2030. 2030 Marvel and DC going down. Do Marvel versus DC.
I have said multiple times, and I don't care if you guys remember me saying this, that will be the end of superhero movies. When superhero movies get so overbloated and we are just done with them, you know what I mean? They will do one final epic Marvel versus DC, and then they will take a bow and we will no longer have superhero movies.
But you know what? They're going to be like, wow, look
That
how
is
much
what-
money
that
that
is my
made.
vision.
Let's do another one.
And they fucking would too.
But you know
wouldn't they?
what? It still wouldn't be as much as
Bring
something
Hugh
like
back, let's
Avatar.
go.
They'll just be like, oh shit, well, there's middling reviews and all of that shit,
But billions of dollars.
I mean, but maybe just like over 1 billion, and then it peters out.
You think that if they just went ahead and threw every single property at each other on the screen, at us, in our faces, that it would make less than $75 billion? Are you stupid? You know what I mean?
$75 billion, Miguel. Everybody thought that Batman vs Superman was going to be the highest grossing movie.
You
of all
don't see
time.
the picture. You don't see the vision. Okay.
Yeah, no,
You know
you're
what I mean?
right. You're right. I can't wait for it.
What if they're going to be like, actually, here's Marvel versus DC. There is no plot. They're just fighting all the time. You're welcome. Next.
They just bring the actors in and they go. You know.
Yeah.
Have at it. Improvise.
There is no story.
Emperor what?
Okay. We're gonna. Next thing is they got Booster Gold TV series about a man from the future who's pitiful and goes to the past, the present time, with his future technology, trying to be a superhero, saying, "Ooh, look at me, I'm fancy, huh?" But he's not fancy. He's Booster Gold. So that ought to be a comedic show. Next one is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's funny because I saw James Gunn posting this on Instagram months ago. So he really loves this comic run by Tom King. I'll have to read it myself. I don't know anything about it because I don't want to spoil myself. And then in the end, we have Swamp Thing, which is going to be James Mangold is rumored to direct it. The guy who's doing Dial of Destiny, Logan. And I think this is going to be part of the Elseworld. Speaking of Elseworld, we're also going to have the Batman 2 and Joker. How are they still in the DC universe? Well, they're part of Elseworlds, and they'll be labeled as so. So you'll have one narrative cinematic universe, and then we'll have Elseworlds, so people can have the freedom to do whatever they want. And and then we have Peacemaker season 2 coming out, and then I imagine we're still maybe doing the Penguin TV show that could be part of the Elseworlds. But this isn't all chapter 1. This, remember, he listed it up top. This isn't everything. This is only some of the things we're doing. So there's still more things coming. And what else? Is that it? Swamp Thing's going to be a horror movie.
I like it.
And yeah, great. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited to find out what that new title card intro is going to be. When you go to the movies and you finally set your butt down and you watch, what's the first movie? Superman Legacy. I'm going to sit down, see Superman Legacy, and then see the new DC, new DC intro. And then they said they would distinguish it from the DC Elseworlds. So I'm going to get two different intros. I remember when Star Wars Mandalorian first came to Disney Plus. I was like, okay, what's the little title going to be? And then now we all know what it is. It's like the characters' logos with the little like flashing lights in between.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I like those little opening.
I feel you. I thought that was cool too. I was like, oh, okay, the Mandalorian's cool. And then like every other Star Wars shit after that, I was like, oh,
I'll tell you what though, I've complained about this multiple times.
That, actually, I'm just thinking
you
about
don't like
that.
the Star Wars thing?
No.
Talk that talk, Ed.
Yeah. I hate being so negative about everything. What's wrong with me? Yeah, I don't like that. I skip it.
You know what I don't like? I don't like how for a TV show of Marvel, I have to watch that whole 30-second intro. Let's save that one for the movie. It is way too long for a 30-minute, 40-minute like TV show.
Let it run, because you sit down and you go, oh, I fucking forgot. I have to pee. You know what I mean? Like, run, go do that. You still have 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And you can get back in time.
You cut it down
for Black Panther to do the explodey thing.
Oh, you know what it is?
Marvel Studios. You know what I mean?
Luis, there was one thing I wanted to ask you. Whenever this was all announced and I hadn't listened to it yet, there was one that you said I would be excited for. What?
It was the Batman and the Bold.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. The Batman and the Bold.
The Batman and the Bold. The Bold. Oh, no, the Batman and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold. Sorry.
The brave Batman and the Bold child.
The brave Batman and the Bold. Can we bring that character? Yeah, can we bring him back from Batman Returns? No, he died, didn't he?
He did. He got
But
electrocuted.
in the Elseworld or whatever.
In the Elseworld,
he could have a twin
in the
brother.
multiverse.
He could have a
He
twin
can-
brother
Hey.
show up in the Flash. Batman.
Louise, you're low key good at impressions. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you
thank
do
you.
them enough. Earlier, when Ed asked you to do like a sexy voice for the intro, you sounded like Jeff Goldblum. You were like, yes.
That is the best compliment. Thank you so much.
And
love
now
Jeff
you're over here
Goldblum.
doing Christopher Walken. I'm like, okay, Louise, you should do episodes where you're only other people.
Wait till we do. Wait till we get to Poker Face. Try to do an
There we
impression
go.
of Natasha
Ooh.
Lyonne.
I want to hear it.
No, I don't want to do
Yeah, no, we have to now.
All ears.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the DC Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. We're going to do a quick ranking of our anticipated movies of 2023. Let's just jump into it. How do we do it? We do Miguel, Ed, me?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Five through one, right?
You know what? Before I start off, well, okay, I'll talk about it later. I'll get to it. I'll talk about it when I get to my point. Well, you know what's funny? Because Miguel, you guys were like, oh man, my list is going to be like 11 things. For some reason, now that I'm looking at the list, I'm actually like, there's not one movie on here where I'm like, I got to buy tickets and get there right away.
Oh no!
For the whole year?
Are
Yeah,
you
I don't-
not?
maybe-
Are you okay?
You doing
I
all
don't
right,
know.
bud?
I'm in a mood today. I'm in a mood. Maybe I'm just.
It all
feeling-
looks like shit.
I'm feeling some kind of way. Because I'm like, I get excited. Well, maybe not. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm just in the mood today. We'll call it the mood. But let's get into it, I guess. And Miguel.
Okay, I didn't really put these in order. Essentially, what I did was Ed
God
made a
damn
list.
it.
Just shut up, Ed.
You had one thing to do.
It's called a ranking.
Well,
It's
it
not called a
was
list.
5 things. Okay, I had to pick. That's a lot.
All right.
I was doing it while I watched Poker Face tonight. Okay, so shut up. No, you put them in order of just, I guess, release date.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tell you. Well,
What
the
do you
easiest one, I think. No, I'll do whatever I want. The one that I think everyone knows that I want to see
Yes.
is Cocaine Bear.
I
You know what I
know it
mean?
is,
Like
yeah.
number one, and I'm so happy it's so early in the year. Bam! I want to see that. Join me in the theaters, February 23rd.
Dolby Atmos.
Oh hell yeah!
You want to hear that bear snorting cocaine from left to right?
Oh,
Want to
yes.
feel it in my
Yes.
nips.
I tell you, it was a glorious moment when I saw that Cocaine Bear trailer on the big screen. I was like, "Oh yes,
That's
all right.
that is a movie that's going to make $1 billion this year.
Watch out,
Okay.
Avatar.
James,
Miguel, do you know how money works?
no.
You were throwing out 75 billion earlier.
It's almost like you. Do you know what comedy is? Okay, like,
What?
do you know when someone's being like
Funny.
over the top? You know what I mean?
I don't know
bombastic."
if it's like comedy or you're just exaggerating.
That
But yeah, no, I get it.
Okay.
But, see, I'm trying to do comedy too.
I want to do cocaine. I'm sorry. I want to see Cocaine Bear.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
Ed's
Ed.
turn.
I'm definitely gonna just save that, mark that clip.
That's good. This will be used against me in divorce court later. You know what I mean?
Miguel, you actually openly said on your podcast
I
that you
did.
just
I
want
did,
cocaine.
Your Honor. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to say, yeah, I did want it.
All right, number 5 for me is Oppenheimer.
Wow, Oppenheimer number. Okay, I
Yeah.
know what your number one's gonna be. Okay,
Dude.
great,
All right.
Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. That's cool.
Okay,
Well, maybe it's on someone else's list.
I mean, we could talk about it, but I just
Yeah, no,
you
that's
know,
all right.
it's Nolan doing his thing.
It is.
We're
I'm increasingly growing wary every time I go into a Nolan film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, what kind of mind time fucking are you gonna do this time, Nolan? Can you just tell a fucking coherent story? I don't know, maybe not.
that's
But
true.
the subject matter intrigues me to no end. I'm very keen to see Cillian Murphy take
Alien.
take the spotlight for once. Like, maybe this will be his year, you know, get some real recognition. And And yeah, I mean, I think it's a terrifying subject, and I think Nolan's visual prowess will excel with it.
Perfect.
There you go. And that IMAX trailer was mwah.
It looked nice.
It did.
So
Luis, number 5.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm not excited about anything this year.
Can you hear that tapping?
Yeah, is that you?
We can do it too though.
Whoa, it's like a fucking horror. Okay. I said only top 5, but I guess I have 6. But I'm gonna commit to my 5.
You
swear to God,
son of
you
a...
literally told me.
The way you chastised poor Edward earlier.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay.
We really need to stick to 5.
We do. Cocaine Bear.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Top 6? Cocaine Bear?
No, 5. I'm gonna say 5.
Yeah, that's what
I'll do
I'm
my
talking
honorable
about.
mentions. But yeah, Cocaine Bear. Okay.
Yeah, can we have an honorable mention?
We'll have
That'd
honorable
be great.
mentions. Yeah.
All right,
All right,
great.
Miguel.
Cocaine Bear, let's go. Yeah, I'll just I'll get this one out of the way. Oppenheimer, I want to see that one too.
Yay.
It does look very good.
Okay.
I am like itching for like a really good Christopher Nolan movie again.
Yeah, like you want it to happen, and again, it just looks good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Great cast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a new one. You know, like sometimes Nolan uses some of the same actors, you know, not all of
Yeah.
them, you know what I mean? It's never like the whole cast multiple times, but it just feels new again, you know?
yeah,
So I'm here for it.
I was excited that he had Robert Downey Jr. in it, but then when I saw the trailer, it looks like he's only in this like courtroom scene,
yeah.
and so I'm
But,
Like he's the prosecuting. Well, but that might be good.
I feel
you
like
know?
the
might just
I
be-
feel like that
because it
prosecuting
takes place
storyline is
over the
throughout.
course of it takes place over the course of like 20 odd years, I think.
Do you think it's going to be the whole thing is like the spine of it is that prosecution, and then we go
Quite
in
possibly.
and out of moments?
Yeah, I was thinking a lot. You guys are familiar with The Aviator, Martin Scorsese?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that. They cut a lot into when they fly that big fucking Hercules plane with the courtroom where he got summoned by the Supreme Court or whatever.
Yeah.
I was getting some of those vibes, maybe. Who knows? But
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Ed, what's your number? I'm not shutting you down. What's your next
no,
one?
that's fine. Number 4. So okay, you're gonna make fun of me for this, but Peter Pan and Wendy.
Uh,
And here's why.
Fuck.
Here's why. We haven't seen
don't
anything,
even bother. Don't.
we haven't seen anything about this movie yet, but I am kind of just like David Lowery is a very intriguing director. I think he has I mean, if you saw Pete's Dragon or The Green Knight, he is an incredibly visual director. The Green Knight was gorgeous film, and every time I see interviews with him talking about this seems like a very passion-filled project for him. He's also a huge fan of Hook, and I just can't help but be a little excited for this. Now, am I skeptical as fuck? Yeah, of course. I am even like a little disappointed that Disney is really trying to push this onto Disney Plus instead of like a theatrical release. But regardless, the kid in me, the child that I have, my daughter,
literally never grew up.
yeah, exactly. I'm just excited. I think it could be a well done, very heartfelt and true telling of the story.
Listen, Ed, I was rolling my eyes through most of what you just said, and then you
I
were
could
like,
see. I see.
then you were like, but then my kid also really likes it, and I'm like, well, okay, you know what I mean?
That's something
I get
can get
that.
excited about. Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, they haven't released a trailer for it yet. They still haven't announced the release date. but I'm just like giddy with excitement just to see what it looks like.
It's unfair that I give you so much shit about this, Ed, because as I mentioned previously, it's like Batman. They make Batman movies all the time. We're about to get the 6th Batman movie in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I get it. You know, Peter Pan's a big property. It's going to come out multiple times. You know, there's always going to be someone ready to tell, you know, a retelling of that story, that one story.
And this might just be a good telling of it. I think, like I said, I think David Lowery is able to the task, and I hope that it gets. I just hope it's good. Obviously, like, is this one I'm just like 100% confident it's going to be awesome? No, but I'm excited for it.
Top 5.
Top 5,
And it ain't number 5.
It ain't number 5. Luis.
Top 5's hard. I said top 5, and then when I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is hard. But obviously, we don't have enough time in the podcast to do a top 10. So there's going to be a lot of obvious ones, like, what? How'd you put that, and why? Aren't you excited about this? I am excited about those things, but you know what? I wanted to call this movie out, and it's different, and it'll probably be bad, but I don't care. This movie that I'm excited for to see is, and may not see on the first day, is Renfield.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
this is the comedy horror film directed by Chris McKay, who did the Lego Batman movie, about the assistant servant of Dracula, played by Nicholas Hoult, someone who I hated, now I love after watching The Great. So after watching The Great, after watching The Menu, it's like, oh man, okay, I'm excited to. Maybe I just didn't like him in X-Men, but I'm excited to see him in this comedy with Nicolas Cage, who's playing Dracula. And we know this is from Universal Studios. Universal Studios is the studio that houses all the monsters, Dracula, Mummy. They were going to create that whole dark universe. Remember when that was supposed to happen? Never did, because it bombed. Wow. So this is kind of their way back, maybe into that classic horror stuff, but through a comedy.
Yeah. The trailer looked like a blast.
It did look like a blast.
Someone's
house is burning down.
I'm sorry, Ed. Is that you? Is that some alarm going off in your house, Ed? Ed, it just stopped. It just stopped. Do you want to go check real quick? Like, I just want to make sure your house is okay.
No, it might be my bread is done.
Your bread?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm baking a loaf of bread. Let me go.
I was legit like, if your house is on fire, please go look right now.
No. The room does smell like bread. It is incredible. But let me pull that
like
out real quick.
Go do that. I'll talk
talking about Renfield.
This is Renfield.
While we're waiting on Ed, Luis, I think I mentioned to you over the holidays, I listened to Seth Rogen's yearbook on audio tape. And he tells a story about how Nicolas Cage wanted to be in a couple of his movies and how they had some pretty awkward meetings. You should definitely check it out.
Oh, really?
Because he talks about how he was going to do like a white Caribbean type character in one of his movies, and how later James Franco was in Spring Breakers. And he eventually met Seth Rogen again and was like, did you tell James Franco about my white Caribbean? Because it feels like you did. And he just did it.
Oh.
They have a lot of awkward encounters like that. It's kind of a fun couple of chapters in his book. But then thinking about him playing Dracula, I'm like, yeah, this is very Nick Cage.
He's finally doing that,
he role of a lifetime for him.
To get that energy out.
And we haven't seen a lot of comedies I really think really ring in the past couple of years. Everything's been so big, blockbuster action movies that have been driving the box office. There used to be a lot of comedies, and there hasn't been. So,
people lost their sense of humor.
Yeah, shout out. Well, also, you can watch with the streaming, people can watch these comedies on Netflix and Hulu, Prime Video. So there hasn't been really desire. So shout out to Universal, trying again, trying to do horror, trying to do comedy, trying to revitalize their dark universe in some weird way. It's got Ben Schwartz in it. I love me a Ben Schwartz and Awkwafina. So, pass it on to you, Miguel.
It's my turn. Okay, so this is what made me ease up on Ed's Peter Pan thing, because he was talking about taking his daughter. Y'all are excited about Peter Pan, because my very next one is the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Okay,
because my kid is into it, dude. I can't wait to go see that movie with him. So I'm like, okay, all right.
That's cool.
It's fun. It's fun with the kids. Yeah, I can talk shit about Chris Pratt literally all day. Please stop me. But this one looks good. I'm definitely going to see it, whether I like him or not.
The animation looks great.
The animation looks great. Yeah.
Looks clean. And you guys were talking about how I don't want to hear him be all like wahoo the entire time, but then like at the end of that trailer he goes yahoo, and you're like,
I want him to be like
fucking
that.
chills.
I don't want him to be like, it's a Mario.
But I
Like
kind of
sexy
do
Mario.
though. Like at one point, at least say it. I will say this: the second trailer that has a little bit more of Charlie Day as Luigi, dude, I think he is going to be like the star of this movie. You know what I mean? Like he is cracking me up on the trailer alone. I'm excited. I think we're going to have a good time.
Cool. Nah, I'm excited for you, Miguel. I'm sure it'll be great.
Thanks, bud.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. What is
That's
that?
the new Martin Scorsese film starring
Apple TV.
Oh wait,
Leonardo.
let me guess. Is this about some sort of gangs that come in trying to take over things again, and like, they get caught at the very end?
No, I understand.
Some sort of gangs in New York.
But it's
Butchers.
it's not in New York.
Yeah, people in New York trying to do crime, and they realize in the end, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, and look how
We should have hugged all along.
No, what is this?
So this is Martin Scorsese directing not only Leo DiCaprio but also Robert De Niro together for the first time in a Scorsese film. And it basically follows the FBI investigation into a series of murders in, I want to say, the Sioux Nation during the 1920s. And this is like just at the beginning of like the FBI. And they're investigating these murders into these tribesmen. This has been in production for at least 3 years. It has a massive budget. And everybody I know who's read the book are just like, why does it have such a big budget? So, I don't know. It could be interesting. But it's Martin Scorsese working with 2 great actors. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I've been waiting for it for a long time. It almost came out last year, but Martin Scorsese likes to take his time when it comes to post-production on his films. Killers of the Flower Moon. The date is still yet to be determined, but we'll probably see it in the festival lineup at some point.
But for sure sometime this year, you think?
For sure this year, yeah.
All right.
This year is, yeah. Any thoughts? Are you guys excited for that one?
Yeah, I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I love it when he performs. I like Robert De Niro. It's the 1920s, so I guess Martin Scorsese doing the old thing again. But I'm here for it.
Jesus.
Sorry about this.
I love this vibe.
Yeah.
I forgot this movie was coming out, to be honest. I remember seeing the picture like 2 years ago. The one where they're at the dinner table or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
whoever
the
else.
one,
You know what I'm talking
What a
about. You
picture,
knew.
yeah.
That was all I remember, and vaguely remember Apple TV being associated with it. And I just assumed that's why I hadn't seen it yet, because I don't have Apple TV.
Oh, yeah. No, it is just not out yet. There you go.
Okay. Added to the list.
All right,
Subscribe.
Luis.
All right.
Numero 3.
Fucked up here.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. All right. Barbie is my number 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's Greta Gerwig. I loved her Lady Bird movie, and this just looks wild and crazy that I just have to see what this experiment is.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody mentioned it, It's the trailer just puts a grin on my face every time I watch it. I don't know what it's gonna be, but fuck me if I'm not intrigued. You know.
Exactly.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast last time, but the second time I saw Avatar 2, they played the Barbie trailer, and then as soon as it was over, they played the Barbie trailer again.
Oh, you texted us that.
And it was
crazy.
back to back, and I just, the way the room lit up on the second one, it was like, the people were buzzed. You know what I mean, Ed? They can't wait.
How do you say the guy who played Shang-Chi, Simu Liu?
Simu Liu?
Simu Liu? So there was something going around on the internet where he had said, like, he was iffy about getting on board with the Barbie film, but his agent like insisted that he did it because it was like one of the best screenplays he'd ever read.
Oh wow!
So I like, again, just color me intrigued. All right, bring it. That's great. Yeah,
that's kind of surprising. That kind of piqued my interest a little bit more than I was expecting. I'm like, okay, dude, just on paper it was that good,
right? Like a little, like he was like ready to write it off. It's just like, no, I don't want to be a part of a Barbie movie.
Barbie movie.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, could be interesting. Miguel,
it's my turn. Okay, here we go. Number two. I'm going to talk about the top 2 movies I'm excited for this year. And I was telling Ed before we started, I don't want them to all be superhero movies, you know what I mean? But of the movies that I picked that I was kind of excited for this year, there were a lot of superhero movies. So my top 2 are superhero movies. Don't hold it against me. It is a nerd podcast.
I thought you were going to put Cocaine Bear up number 1, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's number 1 in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, there's other things that I'm also kind of very excited to see this year.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I guess.
He's anti-vax now. You know, that was a fun.
Remember when James Gunn? He's like, I can't keep firing everybody who says shit that's bad.
Oh my god. That he was immediately just like, and erase. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So it's actually of the 2 superhero movies I'm excited to see this year. One's a DC, one's a Marvel. Okay. Number 2 is Marvel's Ant-Man 3, Quantumania.
Whoa.
Okay.
You guys, listen. They've been talking about Kang, and we've had like these couple of TV shows and little sprinkles here and there that they're leading up to it. Yeah. And it's kind of like, okay, let's get to the meat. Like, I'm ready. Yeah. Like, let's start this saga that we're doing with him. And I'm super intrigued that it's Ant-Man. I love the idea that Peyton Reed was like, I don't want to be a filler movie. Like, I want to be an Avengers movie. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, I know it's funny, but it's also kind of like good. Like be an advocate for yourself. Like, Ant-Man 1 and 2 are filler movies. Like, absolutely. They're not on any of our, I don't know, but actually I don't remember what our top 10s were, but they weren't on my top 10. Okay. And, I think the trailer, especially the one where the most recent one where we see like him and like Ant-Man and Kang like go hand to hand, because it's like, I don't see Paul Rudd hand to hand fighting. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. No. But he also looks like he's taking a beating. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, like let's see this formidable foe.
Yeah.
So that is my number 2, and it's coming out so soon. I'm so excited. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could basically see Cocaine Bear and Ant-Man like within a month, right, of each other. So I actually don't remember what the release dates are, but here we are. That's my number 2. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
We're not here to inform, we're here to run.
We're on vibes, baby.
Yeah. All right, my number 2.
I'll tell you what, when I was watching, that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer, we were watching Avatar and we were having a good time. Yeah, that trailer was the only thing that kept me together. I was like, I can't do this.
Wow. Nice. Because like, for me, that was the one that I was like, okay, can I do this? You know?
Well, I was already in a place, and then it was like, it was like Kang talking down to Ant-Man, like, who do you think you are, and or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this, Kang. And I felt like I was Ant-Man.
Fuck you, Kang.
as the music was rising from Elton John. You know, I was just like, I can. I'm a hero.
I do still love that. Like, yeah, that pin drop, needle drop, needle drop. All right, my number 2 is Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2.
I'm so excited to see
Austin Butler.
this. Well,
That's what I thought.
God damn it! Yes,
Dog.
this is my Dune, baby. With no less than Christopher Walken walking in the sand of Dune.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And Florence Pugh. We all love Florence Pugh.
We do.
I was a big fan of the first movie, and like so many people who did see it, you know, it felt like half a story, which obviously it was. So I haven't read the book, so I'm just like so excited to see how it all comes together and where it goes. And like the first one was so epic, and I enjoy it every time I see it. And I'm very much looking forward to going back to Arrakis. It's got a great cast, great director, and Denis Villeneuve, and topless Timothée Chalamet and Austin Butler all day.
Yeah, I can't wait for a complete movie and story now.
Yeah,
and Dune Part 2. I'll watch those back to back to get a full movie
to really understand it.
Yeah.
Miguel, you were laughing about something.
He said, "I can't wait to go back to Arrakis," and I was like, "Barrakis is right there." You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to go to Barak. Anyway.
Cool. My number 2. I'm actually changing this up.
Oh god.
Change up. I can be talking about superheroes all the time. Miguel's doing that for me. But I'm not going to do it this time.
What was your number 3?
My number 3 is Barbie.
Yeah.
You know, look, obviously, superhero movies, I'm going to go see them. You know what I mean? I already got tickets for Ant-Man and the Wasp. In fact, I bought them for 2 days because I wasn't sure which day we could go, and I'll just replay the other one. So we weren't sure if we go Saturday or Sunday. I bought both days because I'm seeing that. No, you know what? I'm changing this up. My number 2 is going to be Pow, 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 John Wick 4. Because you know what? I love that series.
Dude.
I'm having a good time. You know, these are movies where I'm going to go and have a good time on the big screen. And I have a good time seeing John Wick, Keanu Reeves kicking ass. And he's doing it legitimately. And we're not getting cut. We are getting widescreen. We're seeing all the action. It's inventive. And they're saying this number 4 is going to be even badder, wilder, you know. Dude. And I'm here for it. I don't care. You know, Parabellum and all.
Yeah.
What?
Donnie Yen is in it, right?
Donnie M.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He does the whole, like, he swipes away the bullets with his sword, which maybe it feels more fun in the movie, but it looks a little ridiculous.
You're right.
I haven't seen all the John Wick movies. I think I've seen only the first one.
Well, that's okay. Like,
which I get it. You were like, "Whoa, Miguel."
The first one
you like shitty movies. That's wild that you haven't seen them all yet.
Have you seen the Fast and Furious movies, Miguel?
I've seen most of them, actually. I haven't seen all of them. You
know what? We should rank them for the Fast 10.
Don't. Let's go.
No.
Ed would never.
But Ed, if I'm saying if it's a ranking, you have to show up.
Rank this.
That's the one he would turn away from Empire Online.
John Wick. You've only seen the first
John
one.
Wick. I haven't seen except for the first one, which I thought was really good and inventive. You know what I mean? It was the one that started the whole thing. But I would see this one without seeing the other ones. Like jump straight in. This is I assume like the last one with him, right?
It's the second to last one.
Oh, they're doing a 2-parter.
It's a 2-parter, just like Mission Impossible. Yeah, I've seen them all, right?
Yes, right. Yes. I think my least favorite was the second one. Parabellum was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Right, that was 3. I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, I mean it's consistent. It's fucking entertaining.
It's entertaining.
I haven't seen any of them in the theater. So maybe this is the one.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, like I always
maybe they'll do a run where they re-release them. You know what I mean?
Because remember John Wick, the first one, where when the trailers came out and the premise came out, it's just like, oh, fuck me, it's a Keanu Reeves movie and he's getting revenge for his dog.
They're asking if I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm
but
back.
it like legitimately was cool though when you finally watched. Yeah. I'm guessing I'm back. Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm back. That's what it is.
So it is, but yeah, no, it's a very entertaining series. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this one.
In that, I think in the second movie they have that like sniper fight. They're like,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Where they're silenced. Where they're like walking through the airport or whatever. Yes, dude.
You've seen that.
I've seen that one because I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen that one clip where people are ripping it apart online because they're like, it actually wouldn't work like that. And I'm like, well, actually suck a dick, because
that's a movie, number one.
For just a premise of a scene, you know, someone was like, we need something that pops here. Oh, fucking, what if they're having like a gunfight and no one knows? Yeah, you know what I mean? It was
fun.
Like,
you know,
that's fun, dude.
It's fun.
Have a little fun.
Okay.
Dude, that's not on my list at all, but I'm really glad you brought that up, because now I'm gonna let's just go see it togetger.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. Let's do a LA trip, Ed. Let's go. Let's go visit
for John Wick 4.
John Wick 4, baby. Part 1.
That'll be 2 trips to LA we'll be taking this year.
Oh, that's Miguel, what's number 1?
Oh my God, are we there already? Oh yeah, so I was making that big to do last time. Okay, so Ant-Man, Quantumania. Number 2, you know what I mean? I'm excited for that one. That's my Marvel movie of the year so far. You know what I mean? I actually don't remember any. No, I'm going on a tangent. The number 1 movie, fuck Ezra Miller.
Oh.
The Flash, number 1 movie of the year, though. That's the one I'm kind of excited for. Like, I you know, they're talking about this is the one that's going to like reshape the DC. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is the one that they would not be holding on so hard to this movie if it wasn't the movie. You know what I mean? And that's got me the most intrigued. So, plus Michael Keaton is in this movie still, I assume. You know what I mean? So. You know, like, let's see.
Maybe Ben Affleck too, no?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's like the gist is that they were both in it, but you never know now. You know, you can't, from day to day, you can't hold on to any DC property for too long.
I mean, you're not lying. You're not lying.
The Batman, you were talking about Hook. You talk about Hook all the time. The Batman 1989 movie was my Hook, Ed. You know what I mean? Like, that was like my first like real movie experience. And so with Michael Keaton coming back for this one, I'm all about it. Here we go. Fuck
Miguel,
Ezra Miller, though.
I actually have where is this?
I
have an old text message where we talked about it, where they had the
Don't contradict me, okay? If you're about to contradict me, just fucking cut what I said and move on, okay?
Luis is like, actually, you're on a
according to your deposition on October 16th, 2021. Yeah, honestly, the only reason I'm seeing Flash is for Keaton. Fuck Affleck, to be honest.
Okay, I've kept that same energy, okay? Dude.
Yeah.
Where were you holding that in a draft somewhere?
No, I remember us having the conversation and I just quickly searched it in messages and I didn't know it was going to pop up.
You can search that?
I did, yeah.
On that new iOS. Ed. You gotta
get
that
searched
new
Michael Keaton and that's what came up?
I searched The Flash. If the biggest thing going for the movie is Keaton, then it's going to be bad. Ed Ball.
Well, fuck you, number 1, okay? Number 2, that's a fair point. Fair point.
When that's not supposed to be the focus
it's
of the
just movie? If they're for sure, like, Michael Keaton was going to be in Aquaman, Michael Keaton was going to be in Batgirl, and now Batgirl's been canceled, and now it's pretty unlikely that Michael Keaton is in Aquaman. It's like, if this is the one we're going to see, like, again, fuck Ezra Miller, I will see it for Michael Keaton.
Here we go.
Number one. Thank you, guys.
It's being called out. Ed,
my number 1.
Surprise us. Number 1.
He hasn't said it yet, right? Okay.
No, I have not. It is Barbie. Man, like I said, I tried to. Obviously, not all the trailers are out for all of these movies, but every time I watch that Barbie trailer, I have a stupid smirk on my face because I just don't know what it's going to be. everyone looks great. I can only imagine it was a blast to make. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like not knowing what this movie is going to be. I mean, the next trailer might come out, and I'm just be like, oh no, fuck that.
No, I don't think that's. Whatever, they could come out and show you, you know what I mean, like Margot Robbie murdering a child, and you would be like, but Barbie still looks really good.
Oh, it looks so good. Look at Ryan Gosling's abs. Jesus Christ. So, no, I'm just genuinely excited because I just think it's going to be such a fun and surprising movie. I think Greta Gerwig is on a roll. She wrote this with Noah Baumbach, her partner, and it's got good people involved, so I can only hope for the best, and that first trailer really knocked it out of the park for me, so I'm pumped. Like, bring it on. Barbie girl in the Barbie world. For me, my number one... Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah. We talked about it, and he's going to put on a show every time on the big screen. Is he going to do it this time? I don't know, but we're wondering if he can keep it up. His name is Christopher Nolan, and the movie is Oppenheimer.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
Every time a movie comes out, this is one that drags me into theaters saying, okay, I have to see it in IMAX. I have to see it in the big screen. So I had to put it up there because these are just movie events.
Yes.
And it's just something he's going to take advantage of the whole actually being shot on an IMAX camera. He's really going to showcase really great visuals. He's at least dedicated to doing that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm with you, every time we watch a Nolan movie, it's like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
What fuckery are you getting into?
Exactly. Yes. So hopefully, it's me being hopeful, So.
Yeah. You make a very good point, though. He has established that as a filmmaker. It's just like it is an event. It's something to look forward to, and it's always going to be interesting, whether you like it or not. Like, Tenet was very fucking interesting. Had some cool elements to it. Dunkirk was stunning visually, but for me, it didn't always pull together.
Tenet had a backwards fight. What the fuck? This man is thinking of crazy things that may not work. And I'm hoping every time, let's get this thing to work. Let's land the plane.
Yeah.
What do you think it's like? What do you think it's like being the studio head that has to read the Nolan script before he approves it?
I get it, man. I totally get it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wait, this is a historical drama?
Oh, it's more than that.
Someone made a joke about...
It's actually a dream.
This is a callback to the first movie.
I've been thinking about making this movie since the day I was born.
Oppenheimer, destroyer of worlds.
So I made a joke about they cut that Flash scene at the end of the Zack Snyder Justice League because it didn't make sense, but they kept the entire plot of Tenet. Sure, okay.
That's hilarious. Oh man,
that truly was one of the first movies in a long time that I walked out of, and I was like, I don't think I got it.
We gotta do a rewatch. We gotta do our top. We gotta rank. See, this is what we'll do. We just gotta rank.
We're gonna rank a Nolan. We're gonna rank a fucking Nolan.
I want this to be known to our listeners on February 1st. Okay, 2023. This is now a rankings podcast, and we are only ranking things. And it's not even just movies. It's ranking literally life. Okay. Produced by Ed Ball. Okay.
Oh, God.
2023.
I rank cheese, you guys.
That was appreciated. Actually,
I will rank everything.
And you did.
Can we start just throwing out things at the end of episodes for Ed to rank by the next episode?
Do it. Think of it between now and the end.
Okay. Stay tuned.
A note.
So I just wanted to throw out really quick ones that are coming out this year: Creed 3, Scream 6, Shazam, Dungeons and Dragons. Bo is Afraid we didn't talk about. The director for Hereditary is doing this movie with what's his name? The guy who did the Joker. I can't think of
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
Evil
wait.
Dead Rise, Fast 10, Little Mermaid, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse, Transformers.
You're literally
Mission
listing
Impossible.
all of them. All right.
I am, because you know what? Fuck it. TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. What else we got here? I
forgot about the
That's it.
turtles.
Wonka.
That's
And that's all I
Timothy
wanna say.
Chalamet, directed by Paddington 2 director Paul
Oh.
King.
You know which movie? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Indiana Jones. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. For shout outs, Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny almost made my top 5, but like, I'm also, cautiously excited for that one.
Cautiously, yeah.
Yeah, like I trust James Mangold. I thought the trailer was surprisingly good, but I'm nervous. I'm just nervous because I was hurt so bad last time. And the other one I want to shout out, you mentioned Joaquin Phoenix. He is doing a Napoleon movie with Ridley Scott, and I love. I love Ridley Scott when he does historical epics. His movies of the last 10 years have been meh, but
Talk Ed.
The Last Duel was really good. So hopefully this will bring something good out of him, because I know Joaquin Phoenix he was very immersed in this role as per usual. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. You've got one of my favorite historical figures finally coming to life with Joaquin Phoenix, no less. So I'm very excited. Life dreams here coming true.
Perfect.
I had one movie on that list that I don't think we mentioned even quickly that I kind of wanted to see, and it was almost in my top 5, but I just wanted to vary it up a little bit. And you guys know I love shitty movies, which I just assume everyone will think this one's shitty, but I don't think it will be. The trailers look kind of good. I kind of want to see that Shyamalan movie, Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, okay. It comes out this weekend.
Like tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The first trailer I saw, I was like, okay, whatever. But the just released a new one a couple weeks ago, and I was like, okay, it kind of looks like, let's see it. You know what I mean? Maybe Shyamalan's coming back.
Hey, you know what? Empire gave it 4 stars.
No, out of how many?
5.
Wow. What'd they give Old?
You really want me to look it up?
I didn't see it.
What? You didn't?
No,
need
it's
to?
on HBO. Is it good?
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No.
Oh.
But
When
I
was
would.
The last time I saw.
Like a Shyamalan movie?
I saw Split.
Oh, I did see. Split. There you go.
Oh,
I didn't
saw
see it in
that one.
theaters, but
Is that the one where he was like running across the lawn?
that was James McAvoy with the Split personality. They gave Old 3 stars
Out of 5.
out of 5. That they call that a recommendation.
What did they give Glass?
Fuck me. Here we go.
Let's rank some Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. Do we really want to do that?
Kinda though. If we're gonna watch the Fast movies, obviously Fast 10 is on my
I'm not
list,
agreed
but
to that.
that's my honorable mention. You know what I mean?
Glass. They gave 3 stars.
Oh, okay.
That's a recommendation.
5 stars.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. My wife has this like witch shit right here next to her computer, so she got this at TJ Maxx.
Where you get all your witch shit.
My little Doctor Strange hands.
Great. So we're going to move on. Keep this light, keep it tight. We're going to add a quick news report, but I'm sure you heard of it. Last of Us Season 2, confirmed. Also, it might be, obviously, it's going to talk about Last of Us, Part 2? Is that what it's called? Last of Us Part 2? I still haven't played it, but I will. And they're going to potentially split up that game into more than one season. So season 2 is confirmed. It may go to season 3. What do you mean, oh boy? Maybe it's a full pack story. As done with
maybe.
Last of Us, aren't you?
And what?
We'll
Am I
get to
done
the
with
Last
it?
of Us later today. We'll get to the Last of Us later today. Let's get into a quick review of the Poker Face. Not the Poker Face, just Poker Face. It's Peacock trying to reclaim the streaming throne. Poker Face, directed by Rian Johnson. You know him. He did Glass Onion. He did a Knives Out. He did a lot of Ozymandias episode of Breaking Bad. He did Looper.
The Last Jedi.
And of course he did The Last Jedi. I had to put that last just in case you didn't like that movie. But he is an exceptional director, and it's incredible that he is doing continuing this mystery type of content. This is what Poker Face is. It's about Natasha Lyonne, who plays Charlie, who has this extraordinary ability to determine when someone is lying And it's a murder mystery. Every week, it's kind of a new murder mystery, and she uses this ability of telling if someone is lying to kind of get through it. But it does have a through line throughout. We're gonna try to keep it spoiler free, but we're obviously gonna talk about it. But if you like Glass Onion, if you like Knives Out, this is kind of the same vibe, except it's done with a TV format. Instead of a monster of the week, you get a murder mystery of the week with Natasha Lyonne, kind of solving that crime in the way Rian Johnson would. And this is a big thing I think, because we talked about Poker Face in the text chain, and Miguel, you were like, "Oh yeah, it's on Netflix, right?" And this is the problem. Peacock needs to make themselves known, okay? Because all they're known for is The Office, old TV shows, Bravo, Real Housewives, reruns, and Yellowstone, which is not even their own programming. It's Paramount. So Peacock needs to be making their own content, making their stamp in the world. Poker Face could be it. They had a big subscription jump as of late, probably because of FIFA World Cup. But the people are here, so let's get them to watch Poker Face. And I want to talk about this show.
I will say just briefly, the reason why I said Netflix is because like Rian Johnson has a deal with Netflix. Natasha Lyonne has been on a couple Netflix shows. She's currently on a Netflix show.
True.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, oh, obviously they're keeping that in family. It's kind of wild that they didn't. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Watching it on Peacock was a little like, oh, okay, it's like ads every, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I will say this, the ad breaks were nice and short. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys pay for premium or whatever.
I fucking did. Sarah and I watched the first episode together, and then I was just like, all right, I'm just going to get the Premium Plus.
For a month, I got that too. I did get it. I ended up getting it too.
I
guess we should also, because the first 4 episodes were available for Premium Plus viewers. So
I did only watch episode 1. Okay.
No, we won't go into further, but just to let the audience know that you can watch the first 4 episodes.
And they release every Thursday, so we're filming on Wednesday. This releases on Friday. I'll go back in time. Episode will be out. So I'll be watching the new one. I mean, me and Sarah are really into it. I mean, what are your thoughts about Poker Face?
So I've watched the first 3 episodes, and I won't go into spoilers, but the first episode, we'll just start there. I love the setup. I love the kind of what do you call it? The there's a term for it that'll come to me when I least expect it.
Wow, very on brand for this episode.
I know.
Anyway, but I just love the setup of like, here's the murder up front.
Right.
We know who did it, or we have an idea, we have an inkling.
Man,
yes.
And then
the story structure of it was really interesting.
Yeah, it goes back like maybe 24 hours prior to Charlie, the main character, played by Natasha Lyonne. And then we see it through her perspective and how
all the way. Mm-hmm.
How she like somehow gets meddled up in it.
It's a very playful story structure that way too. And it doesn't even do this thing where it says 24 hours earlier or like the day before. It doesn't do that. It cleverly lets you know that it happened earlier just by like short cues or props or like characters returning or like this person had a bruise, but now when you see him again, they don't have a bruise.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what's happening? So you're kind of taken aback a bit, but then you slowly, like you get knocked with a little confusion and then you're like, oh wait, this happened before. Yeah. Okay. And you kind of go into the ride of it.
Yeah. Like with each one, the opening ends on, you don't see her, but you end on Charlie saying something, like interacting with like maybe the character who's about to get murdered or whatever. In that moment, you don't see her, but you hear her voice, and then cut back to, and then there's like a build up to that moment, and then you see her in that context of the scene. And it's just like, having come off of Glass Onion so recently, It's
very
just
in the
like
vibe.
I do love how Rian Johnson kind of tries to switch it up a bit with the murder mystery format. So,
and it does get you like after you get into the flow of it. You're like, oh, okay. Now that I'm seeing the murder at the beginning, where you try to think in yourself, where's Natasha fit in all this?
Yeah,
because you know she's in the background of the situation somehow.
Man,
and furthermore, how is she gonna nail the sucker?
Yes. Like what's her involvement? How she's gonna nail it? Yeah.
Every time she inserted herself into the next moment, you know what I mean? It was like I was on the edge of my seat being like, please fucking don't. You know what I mean? Like I want you to, but also I'm so worried for you. You know what I mean? I do want to talk about the opening scene just real quickly, and I won't spoil anything. Well, I'll try to, if that's what we're doing. But the murder itself, while I knew it was coming, I understood where we were going with it. I still was very shocked by it. You know what I mean? It is very abrupt.
Yes.
And the fact that it was just like they like half a scene earlier, they were like, you know who the bad guys are? And you're like, yeah, I guess. And they were like, well, here he is. Bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'd just be like, it was so quick. You know?
I know. I was like mid bite. I was like, oh God, it happened already.
Yeah, dude. And so, and then the way there's like a pre-murder before the murder, you know what I mean? And, you know, when they come in right in the door and bam, there's, you know what I mean? It's, it was very surprising. And Kristen, she was in the kitchen while I was watching just like the opening. And I was telling her as I was watching, because I was kind of like, I really think you would like the show. Like, I'm just going to tell you what's happening so you can come watch. She heard me go, you know what I mean? Like, because it was, even though I knew it was coming,
I know.
It was very just in the moment surprising. I was having a good time with it, and I'll talk about something else that was a little surprising a little later too.
Yeah,
I'm playing coy.
Miguel, I guess if you decide to continue watching this, like,
we're for sure.
I like how it's like a new ensemble with each.
Yes.
With each mystery, I guess, like. Because she,
I like it.
Going from, I don't think this is a spoiler really, but she hits the road at the end of episode 1. Obviously, she's not the one getting murdered. She hits the road, and so throughout her journey,
we're gonna meet people right
along the way, right? Yeah. Like the third episode, she winds up in Texas, which you already know is going to be a fun time. So, and I was texting Luis about it too, because Miguel, I knew you hadn't watched all of them yet, but
I don't like being left off the group chat. Okay? I'm finding out that I have 9 group chats with Ed, and then when I find out Ed has any one without me, I'm like, wait, why?
But yeah, anyway, it's just like, I love how playful it is. And I mean, it's like a full hour episodes, but it moves pretty quickly because, like, before you know it, she's, you know, getting wrapped up in the mystery or whatever. She's trying to figure it out. And you're just like, bitch, how are you going to, like, figure this out in time? It's just like, I
know, yeah.
You're going off of this gut feeling.
The clock is coming down to, they do a good job of setting up, like, oh, the clock is running out at each place. And, you know, it never ends the way you think it should end, in the sense where here come the cops, or here come, I don't know, she's never like, it's never like, I got your moment. They find it, maybe sometimes yes, maybe sometimes no, but they do a creative way of like, of trapping the bad person, like in Glass Onion.
Right.
Know?
Like getting them to misstep. Like when they think they've already won, and the same with Knives Out too. It gradually reveals itself, and I love how his protagonist has like a, for lack of a better word, like a power, like a superpower, in that she can always tell when somebody's lying, and so you gradually, and he did that in Knives Out. Ana de Armas's character would throw up every time she lied. Like she couldn't like not tell the truth, otherwise she would vomit. And it's just like a fun thing, because then you're constantly watching and see how
for
she
the cues.
Yeah, just see how she interprets what's happened, like who is the bad guy or whatever, or like a victim, and you're just like, what is she picking up here? It's fucking great.
And it's what they do a good job of too is she doesn't go into these scenarios with the upper hand saying,
No.
I can read bullshit people. She tells them into different situations. Yeah, I have this ability. And it's not so like blunt as I'm putting it, but they creatively do it where they have a conversation and she kind of reveals to them that she has this lie detector ability. For some reason, they have that conversation and it gets pulled out of her. So when the bad guys or somebody else knows that she has this ability, it makes it more interesting because then the people who've committed the crime,
they're on their toes.
They're on their toes and they're aware. Like, for example, in the first episode with Adrian Brody,
yes.
Adrian Brody finds out about this. And so when she asks questions, you're like, ooh, is he going to
How's
lie?
it going? And every time he kind of like curves her, you know what I mean? Just enough.
Really
you're
answer
like
directly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I do want to talk about, I know you guys will watch more than me, but I do want to talk about specifically this episode.
Yeah.
How I was, number one, blown away that Adrian Brody was in this. I do think he's great. He's phenomenal. I love his character. In my mind, I immediately go, of course you would work with Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
And while I think Poker Face it was a really great, the first episode so far was really great, and it seems like a good show for him to be on, I would love to see him in like Knives Out 3 or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're bringing up a great point because I feel like all these episodes are like
auditions for Knives Out. You know what I mean?
Because he's going to make like 3 more Knives Out mysteries.
If he was like, I pull this character, pull this character, pull this character.
I mean, I want to see
put
Natasha
them in
Lyonne
the movie.
in a Knives Out mystery. I want to see Adrian Brody. I want to see these characters that we're seeing in these episodes. I want to see them in these movies. Like, I
was telling Kristen while we were watching this episode that I have never thought of Adrian Brody and Benjamin Bratt to be in the same show or anything together. But the moment they were on screen together, I said, yes, I want to see so much more of you guys. And, we'll see what we get. But
that was the last thing you saw Benjamin Bratt in, too. Like, he pulls together these, like, awesome ensembles.
Did you watch Modern Family? He was in Modern Family a few times.
Oh, yeah, he was.
No.
That's the last thing I can pull out of my brain, but I'm sure he's done other things.
Miss Congeniality. Okay.
But I mean, after Modern Family.
I know.
Right, like recently.
When they had a couple of scenes together where, you could tell, I guess, especially after, all the murdering and stuff, and the fact that they're bringing Natasha Lyonne in, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Call it now. Like, don't keep going.
Yeah.
And the fact that Adrian Brody is playing, no, I will do it. I will prove everyone wrong. He even says, like, no, fuck you, fuck my father. You know what I mean? I'm going to win or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, yo, you two should have been on screen together well before this.
And it's cool because this whole show covers that same theme of people who are, one, desperate, and also trying to do a quick cash grab. Like they're desperate to do something, and they find a quick way to get this money. And when people are kind of cornered in that situation, you kind of make mistakes. And so that's what we're kind of exploiting here in this show. So there's a lot of thematical things that run through each thing, but it's different every week and how he does it.
And it just literally hit me why it's called
Poker Face.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. I know. But all of these, everyone around her has to play their best poker face so as not to reveal the truth. I'm an idiot.
But it does a good job of starting in Vegas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To at least tap that common phrase.
Right.
The story does start in Vegas, and she has this ability to read somebody's quote unquote poker face. And then as she goes on, that storyline actually does kind of sort of.
I'm looking at the cast right now, and we mentioned Natasha Lyonne. Obviously, she's the lead. Benjamin Bratt, Adrian Brody, Hong Chow, who was just in The Whale, right?
Yeah, Academy Award nominee.
That's right. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who works with Rian Johnson on every one of Rian Johnson's projects.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to be in this.
That's what I'm at. So in the episodes you've seen thus far, he's not been there. But he was also in Glass Onion as just that little gong. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's voice.
Yeah. He was the hourly gong.
I'm trying to see. It's is he in it or is he just in it?
I think you see him in the trailer for this show. So
okay,
I'm pretty sure he does show up.
Chloe Sevigny, Ron Perlman. I mean, this is like a pretty stacked cast. And again, I feel like there was a lot of talk after Star Wars about Rian Johnson, meh, 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 meh. But it's like clearly people are jumping to these projects because he's doing something right.
He's
you know what I mean?
one of the most interesting writer-directors right now.
I agree.
For sure.
And, that was like, this is definitely a show I don't think I would have just jumped into normally, but the fact that it was like a Rian Johnson show. I listen, I'm not going to lie. If you hadn't directed me to Peacock, I would have never seen this show.
I know. That's why I did. I was like, we have to talk about it.
I agree. I see what you're saying now. But, bold choice to go to this channel, but I'm here for it because I'll follow. Channels? Do we still call them channels? Anyway,
we get your meaning there. They might as well be, right?
Rian Johnson,
the Disney Plus channel, and it looks so good too.
It does look really good. It's
the cinematography is gorgeous. Yeah, love it.
Well, I loved how she was drinking a Coors in like one of the first shots of the episode, and then she immediately jumped to a Heineken, like one of those big boy Heinekens, and then went back to the store and bought a 6-pack of Coors. And I was like, I love that they're kind of fighting for advertising.
Yeah.
But yet at the same time, even though it's like ad, it's also like I could see you drinking exclusively Coors and Heineken beers. You know what I mean?
What? It
Heineken at the club. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Coors in the trailer.
It makes it real. Like, when are they going to make this off-brand thing? It's like, no.
Yeah.
We live in a world where Coors and Heineken and all these other
it's a can that says
cheap
beer.
and available beers at every gas station. Yeah, absolutely.
No, Natasha's so interesting and so fun to watch. Like, it's such a good time.
I will say, like, I haven't watched Russian Doll or anything like that.
Season 1's good.
I think like the most I've seen her in is the American Pie movies, Yeah.
I've never seen
There's also an Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. I didn't see that one though. Yeah. So
you know what? I'm going to say this. I think that in an Elseworld scenario, one time shot off, I think Natasha Lyonne would be a really fun Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay. Was that controversial?
No, I don't know. I thought I heard somebody come in the house. That's why.
Oh, okay. You look very suspicious.
Somebody?
Just like, what are you about to say right now?
I know she, No, I
totally.
think she has this attitude. Do you know what I mean? That just kind of like, it's not exactly the same, but I think in some sort of like weird variant, other Earth Harley Quinn. I think it would be really fun.
I don't think that's a hard sell. You know what I mean? I think that's like, I could absolutely see that. You know what I mean?
I'm seeing. I'm reading this Harley Quinn comic right now, and she's kind of meeting another Harley Quinn, and they call her, Old Man Logan. There's Old Man Logan. There's like Old Woman Harley or whatever, and so there's like an older version of Harley that she meets.
Old hag.
I think, yeah. But she's not even that old. But not even that old. But it's just like, give her a couple years. I just think that she could carry this, like, I've lived a bunch of lives. I'm Harley Quinn. I'm kicking ass kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that'd be really, really fun.
I did like that couple lines of dialogue where she comes into the office, Adrian Brody's office, to be fired. She's expecting to be fired, and she tells the whole bit about how, like, I've lived, I'm paraphrasing here, but she said something about like, I've had money and I've been poor and now I'm just fine. You know what I mean? And now I'm living a good life. You know what I mean? To your point about her like living many lives and being that style of Harley, like I can see.
Yeah.
Oof. Going on tangents. All right, let's go.
Check it out on Thursday on Peacock.
Highly recommend.
Let's wrap this up to what we're into.
All right.
I think we can do it under 2 hours. Let's go.
Okay. I mean, what do we want to do with what we're into? Do we want to get ready? Miguel, I'll let you lead the conversation. You tell us where to go.
Okay.
Let's just Ed, let's get into it. I just saw the first season of The Bear.
This episode's gonna be 3 hours.
Man, we're gonna keep it ready for this.
Quick five. Well, because I have bigger things I want to talk about, so I want to get this one out of the way.
There's a lot to talk about.
Because you hated it too.
I had a very busy week. We watched a lot of things. We had a couple of days where it was below 0 degrees here in Colorado, so we just stayed indoors. So we watched a lot. We did a lot. Kristen told me a while back, oh yeah, I'm like 3 episodes into The Bear, and I was like, the fuck? Like, I was watching that and I paused to make sure we could watch it together now. And she was gracious enough to go back and start it over with me.
Did you finish it or no?
We watched all, like, whatever, what is it, 9 episodes or something like that?
You didn't watch all of it.
We watched all fucking 9 episodes in like a day.
That's what I mean. Look at that.
Did your blood pressure skyrocket?
Ed, I have a lot of thoughts of why I think you didn't like it. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to hear.
Let's get into it. I think the difference is because, like, Luis, as far as I'm aware, you didn't really ever work in a restaurant, did you?
No, I didn't.
I worked in a small little sandwich shop like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we don't have food experience. You know what I mean? Ed does. Like, Ed has worked in restaurants, and not just like some piddly ass shit. Like, he's been like serving people, you know? So I think Luis and I might watch this show and we go, oh, is that what it's like? You know what I mean? And Ed is like, this isn't what it's fucking like. But at the same time, is also still very like to a 10. You know what I mean? Sometimes about like food industry stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot closer than Ed maybe says.
I just don't find
talk.
I just didn't find it believable. I think it was so excruciating from every fucking angle that
there were things I did.
There was no conceivable way that it would ever function.
But are you talking about like the actual restaurant running, or are you talking about like the acting?
A little bit of both.
Okay, because for me, the moments where we were like, I'm acting right now, I was like, okay, this is a bit much. You know what I mean? Like all those alleyway scenes where they would get together and have like a little deep talk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Those were the moments where I was like, okay, let's get through this. Like we're doing it right now. But also at the same time, like, you know, there's like 5 of us in this tiny ass room and we have to do all this work right now. Like, it might not be pretty. We might be shouting a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, that's common of like small groups, small teams. But maybe you felt differently. Tell me,
especially when you have somebody new coming in charge, taking over.
There's a transition. There's people fucking up on the top and the bottom. You know what I mean?
He was trying to come in, changed up. They weren't used to it, and so they had that conflict. And then by him being there, he was able to bring the best out of everybody. Even though near the end, it caused a chaos crash collision.
I think maybe Ed mentioned this the last time we talked about this. It's been a minute. But that character, Marcus, who I do like. I like Marcus, the character.
Who was making cake in the middle of that one
But the donut, that donut thing where they were like, we have to fucking go. And he was like, no, hold on. I'm making a donut.
No. Just one donut.
That was pretty infuriating.
I was really upset with him. And then he was like, I can't believe Chef had the gall of getting upset with me.
I was like, are we reading the same situation? Because like I get why he was upset about that. You know what I mean?
I'm with
Chef. Do I think him yanking it and throwing it on the floor was necessary? No.
It was a very high pressure situation.
That was anger. You know, that was emotion overflowing.
I'll give them this. I mean, they did a good job at building that tension.
They did a good
job.
To
a point of like you're literally there wanting to yell at every single one of those fuckers. But one of my biggest things, and Luis, you and I talked about this when we both watched it, was just like, that's not entertaining to me. When every episode is as brutal as that, where everybody is just a dick, everybody is sarcastic to like unbelievable limits. It's just like you were saying, Miguel, like Marcus was a character. Was that the right one?
Yeah,
the baker or dessert maker. He like for one brief shining moment, he seemed like it was like a balance. Like
he was jumping on board.
He was feeling inspired by the guy who just came and took over the restaurant,
putting the pictures on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, like, and I appreciate that. Like, it was just, but like the overall thing just was such a face fuck full of fucking assholes the whole time. I just couldn't handle it. I just couldn't cope with it. And that's just me. I realize that is me because clearly everybody in the fucking world loved this show. But like, it was so excruciating.
I do get what you mean, though. It's like if you're not clicking, you know what I mean, on just like a core level, it's like I'm not going to enjoy any episode of the show. You know what I mean? If all I'm doing is feeling anxious the entire time, well, then I'm not having a good time.
Let me ask Miguel a question. What did you think about? When you at the end of each episode, where you're like, I gotta watch another one. I gotta watch another one.
Oh, buddy, I don't binge anything anymore. I'm like kind of out of that lifestyle. I just don't I just don't. I get like it's my ADHD or whatever. Like I'm just like, no, I need to do something else. This was a show that we did watch back to back as much as possible over a day. Like it might have been like a couple episodes here, and then we, are doing something else, and then it's the weekend, so we watch a couple episodes in the morning, a couple episodes in the evening. But yeah, over the course of about a day or so, we watched all of them. Yeah. I couldn't stop. I was into it. I bought into it. Every episode had something for me. Because kind of there was characters that I didn't like, and they would do things that I didn't like, and they would, you know what I mean, either get their comeuppance or not. But it moved the story forward. Like the way they start the season about him not wanting to do spaghetti, and then at the end of it wanting to do spaghetti for his brother, and then he finds all that money. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, dumb shit like that is keeping me engaged. When pause.
The kids party?
I don't know about you guys, but I have cousins. Okay, I have cousins.
Okay.
I have never once in my entire fucking life, 33 years on this earth, have I called my cousin.
Oh.
It's like
cousin. The fuck, cousin? What do you do, cousin?
It felt like a very Boston thing.
I do not subscribe to that. That was weird to me. Like if I call my aunt, if I call my aunt an aunt, if I call my grandfather a grandfather, you know what I mean? That somehow just makes sense to me. But cousin, I'm like, no, I'm on the same level as you.
It did trip me up, but I guess I had to pull it up to just it being a cultural Boston or Chicago.
No, I know.
Was it Chicago? It may have been Chicago.
I think it was Chicago.
It is 100% Chicago.
And also the menu just didn't make sense to me. That drove me fucking crazy.
Well, we're going to see in season 2, they're going to be more established. Maybe they're not going to be fighting as much.
Maybe it'll be just some harmonious food appreciation show.
Maybe in season 2 it'll be a little bit better for you.
I did. Wait, I'm sorry. Last little thing. I liked the character, the sous chef. Oh my god, I'm blanking on her name.
The one who joins.
Yeah, the right hand. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was with her 100% and I was kind of with everyone, and then every now and then I would side with Carmi and be like, yeah, I get why he's stressed and upset about this.
Yes,
because that day, Ed, your bread's ready.
I don't hear anything.
I heard it.
We know.
Huh?
It beeped. It beeped.
One beep.
Okay, I'm gonna just unplug it. I'll be right back. Carry on talking.
No, it's not fun if you're not here. No offense, Luis. No offense, but Ed's the one that's the most.
Ed's the one. Yeah.
I'll say this: The Bear season 2. I'm looking forward to it. Ed, go check your bread. Get out of here.
I pulled it out. I pulled it out. It's
just make sure your house isn't burning down.
All right, I'm going to talk about God of War real quick because
let's do it.
So
you finished it?
I'm picking it up again. I finally played as the boy for that boy level, and you know what? It's not that bad. I thought it was going to be bad.
Wait, which boy level?
The very first one.
The one where you're with the girl, and then the giant, and then you're in the.
No, I'm not with the girl. I'm with Sindri, and we're walking around trying to get to Freya.
Buddy,
I'm at the beginning. I know
you're not there yet.
So, but he's going out there, and it's like very quick. He's just like he's a very fast fighter, and he's like, oh wow, and he's like hitting people. I like it.
I was literally about to be, but do you like it? No.
The only complaint I have right now as I'm playing it is so sometimes I have to play with my headphones because I don't want to wake people up. But I don't know if they made an adjustment to Kratos running, but goddamn, he is like breathing heavily every time he runs. And it's like, it's kind of annoying at some point. It's like, man, is my boy having a problem? Like, does he have a breathing problem?
He's got asthma.
Yeah. I went on Reddit to look at it, like to see if anyone else complained, and somebody was like, "Does anyone else think that Kratos just did a line of cocaine and is running around?" No comments on this guy. No, he made no comments, and then I finally commented on him, and what did I say? I was like, "This is the content I'm looking for." This was 6 months ago. He put this on Reddit, and then I replied to him, and then he said, "Ha! Finally, someone replied." Maybe not 6 months, 2 months ago. Anyway, his breathing does sound like he's running around like he did coke.
I will say this, Luis, and I mean this genuinely. I really do hope you enjoy the game and it's great. And if at the end of the game you go, Miguel, I don't get what you were bitching about, like that'll make me happy.
Okay, yeah.
Like and maybe I'll revisit this game in the future. I love you.
Yeah,
you know?
We'll see how it goes. I didn't play it. The last time I played it was like December or something because I was trying to finish The Last of Us. And I was so worried I'd forget all the moves, but it's amazing how quickly you remember everything.
It is very fluid. Yeah, if you played the last game, you know what I mean? You just jump right in.
Yeah, because there's all these tips and tricks. I'm like, God, I forget how to do everything. And then I was like, okay, I'm back in the system. Blades of Chaos, pull down, pull up, frost up that axe.
I will say, like, a couple of the transitions have become a lot smoother. I know one of the things we talked about was walking through the hallways, you know what I mean? Or like you know what I mean? And how that feels very like of a time, and this game still does that. That's still there, but I do think like using the Blades of Chaos to like jump up higher than you could. You know what I mean? Like I'm moving through the world a lot smoother, and I think that's nice. And I do think, like I said, it does feel like just picking that shit right up again. And the fact that that's so fluid, I really think me bitching about all the nitpicky things that I complained about is really just a sign of the time that we're in. These games are so good all the time, you know, that sometimes you just want to nitpick and bitch. You know what I mean? But if you jump back to like 25 years ago and you told that little Miguel the game God of War Ragnarok, I would have been like, that sounds like the most amazing thing.
Yeah. I'll probably play a little bit tonight. Okay, what else we got going? That was the only thing I wanted to talk about. Miguel.
All right, my son's up.
Oh,
Bubba.
Ed, do you want to talk about the English?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So we talked about this a couple of months back.
Yeah, we talked about the English. I actually saw one episode of this.
Oh, good. I'm not like all the way through with it. I'm actually
only one. Yeah,
I'm only 2 episodes in it. Okay. Oh, well, did you like it?
Yeah, I think it was just like I need to put something on. I mean, I think I wasn't like completely taken away with it, but I was like, oh, this is like I like Emily Blunt, and I kind of like this whole revenge thing that's going on, but I wasn't completely swept away with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I will say I was very taken with how it looked. It's got this kind of like pulpy Western feel to it, almost. I guess you could almost say like Tarantino-esque. Mm-hmm. But I kind of dig it. I'm only, like I said, I've only watched 2 episodes. I do intend on seeing it all the way through. I do love the chemistry between Emily Blunt and the sergeant that she's riding with, Chasky Spencer, and I hope I'm saying that right. But I think he's really good, and I just I love the pulpy, you know, almost like neo-Western vibe to it.
Yeah, but
and also we don't get like a lot of good shows or like Western shows. I feel like
it's true.
They're
very expensive.
And I'm a huge fan of Westerns. I love Westerns.
Did you watch Deadwood?
No, and it's one that it's one of those movies where, or rather shows where, like I wasn't there. You guys? I wasn't on board at the time. For really just like lack of access, I think at the time. Like I didn't have a HBO at the time, so I just didn't get on board with it. And then it wrapped and. That was
if you like Westerns, you should watch.
I know
Deadwood.
I should.
It got me into drinking whiskey.
Hey,
that's what I need more of.
No, it's a good sorry, you guys, just real quick.
Yeah.
I have to jump off. I got to go handle family stuff. So I got to go. There was a few other things that I wanted to talk about, but I could talk about them later. If you guys want to talk about Last of Us, that episode 3, all I'll say is, mwah.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay. Had a great time. There's a lot of stuff I would like to talk about it, but I got to go.
Okay.
So I'm going to check you guys later. Okay.
We'll check you out, Miguel. We'll wrap up soon. See ya.
No worries. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Ed, do you want to talk about Last of Us, or do you want to wait till next week, or what were your thoughts?
We can wait. We've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I mean, we're going to be talking about it.
That's
feel
true.
like
We can
every
keep
week.
this episode light. We can keep it tight.
Yeah. But
you know,
the English is really, other than The Last of Us and Poker Face, which I'm going to continue watching. Definitely, I love Poker Face. Like, I'm so on board for it. The English is all I've been able to squeeze in, really. So
same, man. I mean, I've just been doing Poker Face, and I've been playing God of War, is what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
And then in planning wedding stuff, but
busy boy,
getting things done. But we're going to keep this under 2 hours. We're going to get you back into your life. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us talk about nerd stuff. And then until next week, that was Miguel Sanchez. He just logged off. I've been Luis Gonzalez, and with me, of course, has been
Ed Bull.
And until next time, adios, alligators.
I see you.
I see you.